Hi everyone, I'm John Schroyer, senior reporter for Marijuana Business Daily. Joining me today is Greta Carter, who has started more marijuana companies than I think there are states in the nation. And we're going to be talking about the first ever MJBizCon, since we're coming up on the 10th MJBizCon this coming October. And this year is actually the 10th anniversary of the founding of Marijuana Business Daily back in 2011. At the moment, Greta is the founder of High Road Consulting Group and a partner at Global Ghost. So it's not just one hat, but two corporate hats she's wearing. And she's also one of a handful of industry insiders who was at the very first MJBizCon, which was held in Denver in 2012. What was it? What kind of memories do you have from that first conference?
Well, it was an incredibly exciting time for our industry because we just had the election coming out, right, for both Colorado and I think it was Oregon and Arizona and Washington. I think all four of us were up on the running for legalization, and of course, Colorado and Washington won. And I remember back then struggling about, like, do I stay in my home state when all this crazy stuff was going on? Or do I really, partake in something as phenomenal as a national event like what Marijuana Business Daily was putting on that? And it was like, well, that won. I made it to Colorado for that event, and it was pretty exciting, and I was glad I was part of it.
What were you working on at the time in 2012?
Back then, I was doing consulting. I had my own licenses I was applying for cultivation and for manufacturing, and we were helping the state write laws and still helping people not get arrested. And it was just the very, very beginning because we just didn't know what was going to happen with this. I think it caught the industry by surprise that the voters actually legalized. And I think it kind of put the lawmakers beside themselves, like saying, oh crap, what do we do now?
Yeah, no, I remember back then because there was still so much uncertainty as to whether or not the Obama administration was even going to let Colorado and Washington start adult use sales after the voters weighed in and everything. There were so many question marks at the time, and it's just, in hindsight now, it almost feels like a given. But there was so much uncertainty back in those days and stuff. And you've had a hell of a path too, because you started in Washington State, and you've since had a lot of experiences in Nevada and California, and I'm sure plenty of other states too. So can you just talk a little bit about how the industry has changed?
Yeah, it's crazy. I actually get goosebumps when I heard you describing there that the uncertainty that existed. We take a lot for granted right now, but 10 years ago, that was not the case. And what Marijuana Business Daily was doing with the conventions and bringing people together, that was all ground cutting. And what was always a ton of respect that I had for the company you work for is that they always kept the bar high. They always treated our industry with respect and professionalism, which was critical for acceptance that just eventually got to where we are today. The states that we're in right now, Global Gold, I think, is in like 11 countries, and we've run like over 180 competitive, most of them competitive licensing for folks, and we help them with consulting. We've got an amazing legal team that'll help guide. So yeah, things are a lot different than they were 10 years ago. And I got to tell you, I'll never forget this quirky little building where I think you guys had a difficult time even finding a place that would allow you to host this kind of an event. And then we showed up at this building in Colorado, and it was like 3 floors, and I think it was an old theater or something. And you climb stairs to get to one, and then when you were on the one floor, you could look down on the other one. It was interesting.
I think there were like maybe a few hundred people at that first convention in Denver, and now the past couple of conferences we've had tens of thousands, like around 35,000 people or something like that. So just that growth is just kind of amazing, kind of hard to comprehend in a lot of ways.
One thing about the convention is that there is so much opportunity there. You could get a meeting room and never leave that meeting room and just connect with all of your pals that get there, or all your potential prospects, or you could be the person that's going around meeting all these people. Or you could get lost on the floor. The floor is just like amazing, and it never ceases to amaze me to walk around that floor and see the innovation and the money that's being spent on the industry and the competitiveness that's out there. The knowledge has gotten so sophisticated. The people involved has gotten so sophisticated. So for me, the conference is a must for anybody that's going to be in this industry with seriousness. And then how they decide to use that convention time and that meeting of amazing people and networking will vary maybe from year to year. I know it has for me.